It's not ladylike.
Elaine, you're muted.
Yeah.
There you go.
Emma, stay.
I don't have
Stay.
my dog now, but
You can stay here. Stay right here.
I don't
You
know.
have the
if it's
picture?
picture
Okay.
We'll be in.
Hold it up higher.
There we go.
Stay.
She was a little Yorkshire Terrier, 18
Just stay right here.
old Sandy
Stay.
remembers.
Cute.
It's not
And
gonna be the end of the world.
dog ever, the best. She lived to be 18 and a half.
Oh, wow.
And so much of a lap dog and a sweetheart. I took her all over with me to the bank, to the cleaners, grocery. Nobody cared, and she was so quiet. We just loved her, and I still miss her a lot. She's been gone a few years, but she was a real sweetheart. We just loved her.
Yeah, I still miss my Onslow.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh, we can see her a little better there, maybe.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
just beautiful.
Thank you.
She loved getting in the group with pictures. too. We
Yeah, I think
loved
there are those that are photogenic and those that are not.
Yes, she thought she was.
When Buster was a puppy, he liked to go behind the toilet seat. This is
Oh,
Buster.
no.
And as he got bigger
Handsome.
and bigger, only his head fit behind. It was so funny. But he used to like to go and hide behind, lie down on the tile when it was warm.
That's nice.
Nice looking dog.
Beautiful dog. I took him to a dog competition. I was working at the psychiatric
Blessed.
hospital at the
Stay when
time.
you're blessed.
Well, he wasn't the most obedient. He wasn't the biggest. He wasn't the smallest. I put a scarf on him and I put the same scarf on me and we won the look-alike contest.
Well, mine used to greet the kids that came to the door at Halloween. She thought that was cool. And the first thing she did was to sniff into their bags, you know,
Of course.
do something for me. They do funny things, but she liked to bark at large dogs. The bigger, the better. And as soon as they made a move, she ran behind me. I said, "Thanks a lot." You know, I was supposed to, you know,
Stay.
they're funny.
Just
Yeah.
sit. Cool your jets.
Well, you can see Maya for a second. She's
Oh, there.
tired. She thinks she's
Hey,
going to go
Maya.
over in the corner
Oh,
and not be in the picture anymore. But she's here because usually when I've done the pet blessing, I don't have her with me.
oh.
Okay, now she might cuddle up by me. We'll see.
Yeah, they're all so sweet.
You're so pretty.
I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're great.
Well, my parents wouldn't let me have any indoor pets, so that's why I improvise.
I love it.
Very good.
My mother once said I could get something if, well, a kid that didn't ever grow up and they learn to use the bathroom. And it's like, well, that's not going to be. And I used to have frogs and stuff outside and salamanders, but nothing inside. And that was one of the few things that my parents completely agreed about. It's like, no, I'll get a how about a gerbil or a guinea pig? You don't even have to see it. It'll stay in my room. Nope, not a chance. No way. Absolutely not.
Why are you being so shy? Hiding your free face.
Well, for many, many years, we had Siamese and Abyssinian cats, but my daughter-in-law is highly allergic. So when the last one passed away, that was the end of cats.
Put your little butt right around here.
Sandy, what does Abyssinian look like?
Kind of like a ruddy red, almost like a tiger.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe cougar,
More
but
like,
ruddy,
like a ruddy colored mountain lion.
Is they short-haired or long?
short.
Short.
Emma, would you
Sandy,
just
I remember your cats.
sit and stay? Sit.
It moves.
Stay.
Elaine, you remember
Yes.
that?
You are dense.
Spot everything.
Yeah.
Stay.
Oh, look, stay.
It's a feral cat today, a black and white feral cat.
There's,
Mhm.
they're all over, yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Hey,
Well,
Fizz.
Hmm?
Hey, Fizz.
Okay.
You handsome guy, you.
Some of the animals now.
Oh, Dad, he's gonna leave. He doesn't want to be ready.
Yeah, so we aren't sure how
Nice
long
shot,
he's
you.
going to be here.
You can sit here.
So we're going to do some things about animals and then we're going to bless them later. And if your animal isn't there at that time, or if you're thinking of animals that you don't have anymore, that's fine too. But if you want to bless your pet and your pet is not within reach at the time, I can send you the blessings for later if you prefer. So
Stay.
I'm going to share my screen.
This is for you. You can stay.
Really cute. Yeah.
And this isn't the beginning. That's the beginning. So
Thank you.
to begin with Bruchim Habaim B'Shem Adonai, welcome, and may all who come here, people and animals, be blessed by God's presence. So we join together to celebrate the variety of life that God has created on earth, and we give thanks for the beauty of the natural world and for the abundance of creatures with whom we share the land, the sea, and the sky. And we rejoice in the beloved presence of those special animals we have taken into our families, our homes, and our hearts. We are bound together with them in one great web of life, connected through compassion and concern. Providing a home for an animal is a mitzvah for one of God's creatures. So say Baruch Merachem al Habriot. Blessed is the one who embraces all creatures. God made all kinds of animals, wild beasts and animals of every kind, and all kinds of creeping animals that are on the earth. And then God saw that this was good, and that's from this week's Torah portion that we studied earlier from verse 25. Baruch atah shelo haser be'olamo davar. Blessed are you in whose world nothing is lacking. It is filled with wonderful animals that bring joy and companionship to human beings. So I asked Vicki if she would share this story with us.
A story, Moses and the Lamb. According to the Midrash, God chose Moses to lead the Jewish people because of his kindness to animals. When he was just a young man, Moses worked as a shepherd for his father-in-law, Jethro. One day, Moses saw a small lamb run away from the flock. Concerned that it would perish in the desert, Moses chased after it. He saw the lamb stop at a stream and drink from it. Moses realized that the lamb had run away because it was thirsty. Moses asked the lamb to forgive him. If he had known why the lamb was running away, he would not have chased it. He felt very sorry for chasing the lamb and making it thirstier and tired. After the lamb was finished drinking, Moses lifted it up on his shoulder and carried it back to the flock. Because of the compassion Moses showed for the little lamb, he was found worthy of leading God's flock, the people of Israel, out of slavery in Egypt.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dennis, would you share the next story with us as soon as I can change the page, if you could read it?
Okay. Rebecca, water for a camel. Rebecca also is one of those heroes. She was chosen as a wife for Isaac because of her kindness to animals. When Abraham's servant asked for a drink of water from the well for himself, Rebecca volunteered to make sure his camel had water as well, thereby proving herself a worthy wife for Isaac.
So this song, written by Bill Staines and Janet Wheeler, was recorded by Peter, Paul, and Mary, and I have done it some other years as well, and I invite you all to sing with me. It might be better if you're muted, though, because otherwise the sound is going to be quite difficult to follow. But the chorus does repeat, and we'll have some fun with it, hopefully. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wire, and some just clap their hands, their paws, or anything they got now. Well, listen to the bass, it's the one on the bottom where the bullfrog croaks and the hippopotamus moans and groans with a big to-do. An old cow just says moo. Well, the dogs and the cats, they take up the middle. The honeybee hums and the crickets fiddle. The donkey brays and the pony neighs, and the old coyote howls. Oh, all God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wire, and some just clap their hands, their paws, or anything they got now. Well, listen to the top where the little birds sing, the melody with the high voice ringing. The hoot owl hollers over everything, and the jaybird disagrees. Singing in the nighttime, singing in the day. The little duck quacks and he's on his way. The possum don't have much to say, and the porcupine talks to herself. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing loud, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. And some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. Everybody here is a part of the plan. We all get to play in the great critter band, from the eagle in the sky to the whale in the sea. It's one great symphony. One last time with the chorus. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wire, and some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. Like Moses and Rebecca, we are called upon to observe the mitzvah of Tsa'ar Ba'alei Chayim, showing kindness to animals. The Talmud even teaches that we should feed our animals before eating ourselves. Truly, our pets are entrusted to us, and it is our task to act as trustworthy stewards, to loyally offer them abundant food and shelter, health care, and love. Yet we are entrusted to them as well. We depend on them for love returned. And if we look and listen carefully, they offer us nature's wisdom. In the book of Job, God implores us, ask the animals, and they will teach you. So I'm going to put the screen down now. So those of you who've already shared about your animals, we're going to go around and you can talk about your pet, what pets you've had, any example of what you've learned either from your pet or as caring for animals. So who would like to share first? Okay, Alice.
I just learned something from my cat. Don't hold her tight when she doesn't want to be there. She gave me a squat.
You all just saw Fizz run away from me.
So, no, she's as you all know, I live mostly in Newton, but she's a Binghamton Humane Society kitty cat. So, and she travels with me. And when I come to Binghamton, to my house in Binghamton, God willing again, she loves that house. This one she tolerates. So that's my apple.
Who would also like to share something about yours?
Well, I'll share about Fizz. We brought Fizz home as a rescue in June of 2004.
Wow.
And carried him home on his lap from Candor. And here it is, October 2020. He's getting old. He either acts like a puppy or acts like an old man. He's, I think he misses Rich and he misses Bodie, who's gone almost 3 years. But he's hanging in, and every day I figure I have him, he's a blessing. At 16 and a half.
Wow. Well, I have my two. When I lost my Onslow, that was a yellow lab pitty mix. I got Darwin, adopted him, and I wanted company for him. And then about a year later, I adopted Emma, and they're just wonderful dogs and a lot of company. She's a little dense, but she's a Tasmanian devil. Last time they took her to the vet, they had to put the party hat on her when they tried to clip her toenails.
Yeah. So we have Chickpea, and Chickpea was actually a foster dog that Alyssa had. Alyssa was living in Ithaca for a while, and so she was a foster mother to a lot of old decrepit dogs. And she got funded by people. So, she needed anything. there was money for Alyssa to take care of him. Well, she had Chickpea, and we had Chickpea for a week or two when we weren't supposed to, because, you know, they have to like, you know, vet you out and make sure that you're okay and stuff. Well, then we decided to keep her. And so we went through that whole process like you would if you were going through adoption. And they waived the fee because it's like $200 for the visit. And we've had her for like, what, 10 years now. And, you know, we never thought we'd get a Pomeranian. And she's cool. Elliot, she's great. You know, Elliot takes her for walks every day. And, you know, she goes in the car with us all the time because we don't go inside anywhere. So she's always with us. You know?
And today was a perfect example. We just wanted to drive around and enjoy the day in the leaves. And we were out for over 2 hours, and Alex was up front and he was in charge of the music. Vicky drove and I sat in the back with Chickpea, and she kept me company.
Did you just?
She's always got a smile. Yeah. And you know, I learned more about having to take care of a pet. Make sure, like, I always feed her first before we eat, you know, just to make sure, just like with a child, because they can't take care of themselves, you know, you gotta take care of them too. So
Mary, you can see the one on the left is the Abyssinian.
Okay.
oh wow.
And Siamese.
The other is one of our Siamese.
Our first Siamese, Denny bought for me for our first wedding anniversary. And on that same night, I learned that my mother had cancer that they didn't expect her to survive from. And she was my savior. She would stay by me. And then I went back to Pittsburgh to help when my mom came home from the hospital. And Denny brought Mai Tai down with him. And that cat, now it wasn't me, now it was my mother. And she went and she sat by my mom. And when my mom laid down, she would go and jump on the bed and lie with her. The good thing about this was my mom survived that particular attack of cancer. I don't think it had anything to do with Mai Tai, but Mai Tai surely helped me. And it made my mother laugh for the first time after getting that bad news.
Animal sense, that's so. My first Zach was our first husky, and he did the same thing with my mother. He didn't get on her bed, but when she was sick, he just wouldn't leave her side. And we visited.
Mary, you want to share about your cat who we saw?
My cat, she sits outside. This is Tony's study, and she sits outside when he's teaching. And sometimes she will come in and sit next to him. But I think that all the talking sort of spooked her, and she's just happy to be out there. She was found, she was deserted by her mother when she was a really tiny kitten. And my friend couldn't take her because we're at her house because she had allergies. And so she adopted us, and she's my first totally indoor cat. My last outdoor passed away in April. And she, and I've thought about getting an older cat, but I'm just not sure with now that we travel, you know, how that would work out. So I'm still thinking about it, but I've had cats since I was 7, and I've just never really been without one.
Okay, Anne, I see you have a dog on your, I think it's a dog on your lap. So you want to tell us about your dog? You have to unmute.
Yep. Actually, this is Molly. She is our cat.
A cat, okay, I couldn't see.
Yes, that's where she's hiding. She came to us about 6 years ago. She has a crooked tail and 5 toes instead of just 4. And much like Alice's cat, she has a tell. If you're holding her too long or stroking her too much, her back legs come up and she scratches under her chin. And then you just need to stop whatever it is you're doing, or you're going to get bitten or slashed. But other than that, she is a sweetheart.
Yeah. Okay, and Sylvia, you told us about your dog, and Elaine, you talked to us about.
But let me tell you one more thing about Buster.
Okay.
I got sick while we had her, and she would never let us put our head or our feet on her. But the night that I was so sick, she lay on my bed and let me put my head on her body, and she didn't move. And dogs sense when you don't feel well.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Very touching.
Okay. Susan, did you want to share about? Oh, you're muted.
There. Well, our cat, who's 17, is sleeping in the next room, and we respect her age, so we didn't want to disturb her, but we have this substitute for the moment, much less active. But Rosie had a twin brother, Buddy, and when we went to adopt, it was very hard because the cat preceding her we'd been so attached to him, and he had passed away, and we waited a while, and we went to the animal shelter, and the person there said, well, I have these two cats, they're brother and sister, and we really don't want to separate them. And my husband, who'd been really bonded to the prior cat, was so reluctant to even take one, and all of a sudden he said, well, I guess we'll have to take them both. Just a wonderful, wonderful relationship. But Buddy had a heart problem, and he died at the age of 7. And Rosie's been enduring being the only child since then. So we're very fond of her, and she does act somewhat dog-like in many ways. But we're very happy to have her.
And if I might add, our present cat is purring constantly. And I spend lots of time sleeping with her in the afternoon when I take a nap. And I realize now that I started to lose my vocabulary, and I start purring myself.
I don't think he said he was starting to purr himself.
Roz, have you had pets? You need to unmute.
Unmute.
I've had pets, but a long time ago, we cannot have pets in my building. But when I married Dick, he had a black lab. And so I helped take care of him until he passed away. I like animals very much. I mean, Rabbi, you know, I like Maya very much. If I could, I probably would have a cat because I like them. I have 2 grand cats in Ohio.
Hold on a little bit longer, just a little bit longer. Yeah.
Okay, Ruth. You have to unmute as well.
As Barbara knows, my family had a dog named Sly, and unfortunately, the only person that he really ever barked and snapped at was Rabbi Barbara, which was very, very strange because he was a very, very loving dog, and he really wasn't a snapper. But we think that it was because she had a high voice.
Yeah, that was a thought.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, because everybody in the back then, everybody in the family were smokers. So we all had really low, raspy voices from all of the smoking, which we all then quit. But at the time, nobody had a high voice. But we really loved the dog. That was we mostly lived in buildings as we were growing up that did not allow dogs. So the first time my parents were able to buy property, my brother within days brought a dog home. So, but as Barbara knows, Rabbi Barbara, I'm sorry, Barbara and I have known each other since we were 16.
Okay.
So I don't always say Rabbi Barbara. But I've always loved dogs. I love Maya, and I have been very lucky to spend time with Rabbi Barbara's grand dog Penny in Chicago, as her son Ari has gotten a dog, and I've been able to spend a lot of time with her.
So Rachel had shared already, so I'm not sure who this is with iPhones. We don't have a picture, but do you want to share anything about your, anything about pets? I don't know who's here, if you want to talk or not. Okay, maybe not. What I want to do next is allow us to bless our pets, and everybody else had a chance to speak who wanted to speak, or does anyone else have anything you wanted to add?
I would
Rachel?
just like, I would. I
Okay.
just love how things come together. You know, I just said that Apple drives with me back and forth to Binghamton, and it's 4 to 5 hours. And I have to have the radio on for her, and it has to be bluegrass. So I think it all came together with Nefesh Mountain. She's going to hear nothing but Nefesh Mountain. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, so most of you know stories about Maya, so I'm not going to add that in now because I want to give us the opportunity to bless our pets together. Let's see. I didn't end up on the page that I was on before, so just a second. I thought I would end up back at the same place, but I didn't.
Here we go. You're enjoying this.
Okay, so the blessing, first we'll say it in the Hebrew and then in the English.
Okay.
Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, yekacha lo be'olamo. Praise be the eternal our God, ruler of the universe, who's made such beautiful creatures in the world. And just a second, I'll get back to the right thing of here so we can, okay. And then we have different blessings for different kinds of pets. We can say them in the English. So for those of you with cats or who've had cats, say, may God make you like the lions of the field.
Oh dear.
May God make you like the Lion of Judah. And then for dogs, for those with dogs, may God make you like Caleb, the loyal one. The loyal one. And anyone with birds, we don't have anybody talking about birds, but we have a blessing for birds. May God make you like the birds of the air that nest among the waters and sing. For reptiles, may God make you with the healing strength of the copper serpent. And for fish, may God make you like the great fish, the servant of God. And for all the animals, Yisimcha Elohim kerabot ma'asecha Adonai chayot ketunot im gedolot. And in the English, may God make you like the great creations of God, the small and the large animals. So for those of us who have an animal nearby, if you can touch their head, you can touch their head. I think I get the side of the body here. I don't get the head. But the blessing here is from Albert Schweitzer. Hear our humble prayer, O God, for our friends, the animals, especially for animals who are suffering, for any that are hunted or lost, or deserted, or frightened, or hungry, for all that must be put to death. We entreat for them all your mercy and pity, and for those who deal with them, we ask a heart of compassion and gentle hands and kindly words. Make us ourselves to be true friends to animals, and so to share the blessing of the merciful. Amen. Noah and his family and all the animals emerged from the ark after the great flood. God made a covenant, a promise to us all, and the promise still stands for people and for animals of every kind in Genesis chapter 9, the portion for this coming week. I now establish my covenant with you and your offspring to come, and with every living being that is with you, birds, cattle, and every wild beast as well, that all that have come out of the ark, every living thing on earth, I will maintain my covenant with you, and never again shall there be a flood to destroy the earth. And we say together, may we fulfill the promise of that covenant, caring for those beloved animals and learning from all God's creatures.
Oh, I
So
love
we
it.
are concluded with this part of things, and we're going to continue with Havdalah. So what I've usually done is I put the Havdalah blessings in the margin, so that way we can see one another as we go about this. And so let me put the blessings there for us, and then we can prepare to make Havdalah. And so if you need to do anything different to be ready for that, please do. We surely don't want to hurt any animals with the candles or anything like that. So, okay, so now you have the blessings to be able to join with me, and I'm going to move the things for Havdalah closer. And it can be any kind of sweet smelling things. So actually for tonight, the etrog from Sukkot is so sweet. That's my spice box for tonight.
Here. Be careful because there's not a thing.
So first we light our candles.
You back again?
I have to get one, huh? Yeah.
And then we'll be ready with a cup with juice or wine.
Thanks. It's good you're here.
Now Maya's watching.
Now you have to take. There you go. And then you gotta go like get it.
Okay. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen borei peri hagafen ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei v'samim borei minei v'samim ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei me'orei ha'esh borei me'orei ha'esh ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lechol ben or lechoshech ben yom hashvi'i לששת ימי המעשה. ברוך אתה אדוני המבדיל בין קודש לחול. So of course, when we're doing other things, that's when the cats come for us to see them and to be with us as well. And so we take a sip of the wine or juice. We're ready to savor all of this and keep it within us until next Shabbat, as we put the candle out in the juice or wine. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Vimera V'Yamenu, Yavo Eleinu, Imashiach ben David, Imashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi. And I invite everybody to unmute, if you're not already unmuted, to sing Shavua Tov together to wish everyone a good week. Shavua Tov, Shavua Tov, Shavua Tov, Shavua Tov, Shavua Tov, Shavua Tov, a good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. And I wish everyone Shavua Tov. Next week, we will go back to the regular format of a story or something prior to the